Thanks, Reyes. Good morning. We are moments away from 6:30. Today was supposed to mark the return to school for 500,000 BC children. Instead, their teachers are back on picket lines, still at odds with the provincial government. Greg Harper joins us live from Britannia Secondary School this morning with more. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Well, this isn't what teachers wanted. This isn't what the government wanted. This is certainly not what parents and their children wanted. But here we are, teachers on the picket line just behind me here at Britannia Secondary in Vancouver, and they will be joined by the president of their union later on here this morning. Both sides in this dispute, that being the BCTF and the government, the BC Public School Employers Association, met for 3 days with mediator Vince Reddy. But Reddy left the exploratory talks on Saturday, saying the two sides are simply too far apart to begin mediation. $300 million apart, according to the government. Wages, also class size and composition, remain the issues. And now the teachers union wants the premier to get involved. So far, Christy Clark has left that to Education Minister Peter Fassbender, limiting her public comments to a series of tweets on the weekend.
We need government to come back to the table, but they got to show some flexibility, that they're willing to actually compromise and show some good faith that they actually want a deal. And we didn't see that this weekend.
So the president of the BCTF, Jim Eicher, is expected to be here around 7 o'clock this morning. When he arrives, we will get him live and get the latest from him on this ongoing labor dispute. Jody?
All right, we'll look forward to that in 30 minutes' time. Thanks so much. Greg Harper reporting live this morning from Britannia Secondary. Now, for more on what the education minister has to say, let's head live to his constituency office in Surrey. That's where we find our Tamara Slobodin this morning. Good morning, Tamara.
Well, good morning, Jody. Now, we know each side has its heels dug in. We hope to get some fresh perspective on this from the education minister when he joins you live in studio momentarily. But first, his take on the latest round of failed talks this weekend.
We are not going to go in deficit because of unrealistic demands from one union that is asking for far more than every other union has.
Well, with both sides still $300 million apart and neither side budging, the opposition is raising its voice, calling for Christy Clark to come to the table and calling for the education minister to step aside.
Mr. Fassbender has not got a deal. He doesn't appear to want a deal. It's time for the premier to get involved. She's the one that created this mess. It's time that she fixed it.
Now, the Labour movement is raising its voice, too, encouraging its members to rally this week at BC Fed, tweeting just a few days ago, "Let's tell Minister Fassbender that we stand with teachers." Solidarity rally Tuesday, September 2nd in front of his office. And, Jody, that is 5 o'clock today.
We will be asking the education minister about that coming up in just a few short minutes. Thanks so much. Tamara Slobodin reporting live from Surrey this hour. And the onus now falls on parents to ensure their children are cared for what could be a matter of days or even weeks. Thor Dykow joins us live from downtown Vancouver with more on that. Thor?
Thanks very much, Jody. We're here outside the Roundhouse Community Centre in Vancouver, just one of many places that will be offering alternative childcare services today. Now, the government has set up a website, bcparentinfo.ca. They are paying $40 a day per child, 12 and under, as long as the strike lasts. Now, you won't be getting the cash until 30 days after the strike is over, but we spoke earlier with Tracy Wright of the BC Confederation of Parent Advisory Councils about this.
It's quite mixed. There's some families out there that are very thankful for this. It means that the parents can still get back to work and do those type of things. For others are really quite upset about it, thinking the money's better spent going back into the education of our kids.
Yeah, the YMCA in Vancouver is also expanding childcare services to 1,200 spaces for children during this labor dispute. And Kid City Day Camp is another service being offered. Vancouver's Chinese Pentecostal Church, right off Main Street, is providing all-day camps for $25 a day. And you can check that out for more information. But some parents aren't even happy with that. They're not settling for alternative services. They are taking their kids directly to the government, Jody. MLA Playdate will see parents and children hanging out with their elected officials in their offices, and they're encouraged to bring sidewalk chalk and talk to their government officials and their elected officials. And even if you don't have one in your area, parents are even encouraged to start their own. So you can check out the MLA Playdate happening all across the city today.